Alright. Honda Ruckus build. The pile of parts that we picked up
several months ago
and just been collecting more parts for it.
Now it's time to start making something out of it.
We're going to 150 swap it, GY6. So we're going to use factory wiring harness on it too. We'll show you guys how to modify a wiring harness and build a loop and put a GY6 coil and stuff on it. It's a 2012 is what we know about it. That's about all we know. It came in
boxes.
It came this way, and that bike right there came with it too. The Get motor's laying over here. The Get motor, if anybody's interested in it, let us know, because we got two of them laying around. This one supposedly runs, and there's a parts one laying in our shop. So we'll see what we can do.
Still turn over.
Yeah, I've kicked it over. So it's got compression because it's a pain to turn. The radiator and everything we have laying inside. We have the exhaust system to this motor too. It's laying in here. Radiator's right here. Exhaust system. Laying right here.
We really don't know anything about it.
We can't say for exact fair that it does run, so don't quote us on it. We were told it ran. That's all we know. It's like that one over there. It turns over, but it's got wiring issues, and it's a Honda of some sort. So if you guys need parts off of it, let us know and we'll work a deal out. It turns over and everything. It's building compression. There's a ECM on it that's out, and it's not worth repairing to us. So, but we'll see what we can make out of this little Honda Ruckus. That's what's left of the original wiring harness right there. They cut it all up.
We're pretty sure that it was wrecked
at one time
by the conditions of stuff.
Because all the we're gonna have to straighten the battery box up, and we got the handlebars and stuff, but we got new handlebars.
They're on their way.
Coming in for both the Hondas. So
everybody seemed to be interested in the Hondas, so we're dragging one out to work on.
But we'll see what we can do, because we can cut out some parts and come up with some different ideas.
Yep.
And if you guys are ever interested in what we cut out for them, let us know. We'll more than gladly work a deal out and cut it out and go from there. So we're gonna pack all this up to our shop, and we'll get another wiring harness out and the GY6 150 punched over. We've already bored it and everything. It's in another bike. So
gotta drag it out and strip it.
We're gonna strip down a 150 and build a 150 Honda. So alright guys, we'll be right back. The donor motor for the Honda Ruckus.
Believe it or not, it is a 185 or 180.
180, yeah.
And it's only got about 100 miles on it before the scooter
literally fell apart.
Was destroyed. And we've held on to it all this time.
Now it's time to...
And it's actually been stored indoors in a corner.
So...
now it's time to build something out of it. It is very dirty. It has some really old parts in it that you can't get anymore. And we're going to see if we can bring it back to life and put it in my ruckus.
Don't put the intake back on that way.
I'm just sticking it on.
Because we got a Nebby to go on it.
Right.
We're going to run a Nebby carb, Nebby intake with a high rise and a clocking flange. And then we got NYC, they call it stage 3 clutch system. So, of course, we're going to have to get a new belt. I had a new belt for it, but when my 232 ate the belt, we put that other new belt on my 232, and
it might need a bath.
Yep, we're gonna have to take it and
because you can't buy this jug and piston combination anymore. They stopped making it for one reason or another.
Everything is go fit internal.
Yep.
We're gonna have to change our coil, pickup coil out. When we've got it this far, we're talking about putting new brakes in it, because future plans is turn it up a little more. We can make a 205 out of it if we stroke it, and do a little more to it. So,
but for right now,
we're just trying to get it put in the bike
and get it in one piece and
rideable. Ride it. If you guys hadn't been around a whole lot, that's what we're trying to build, is right there. That is a Honda Ruckus. It's an 08 with the 232.
It's completely done. Well, almost completely done.
So, we're slowly getting there.
Guess
All
you
right.
wouldn't have to run it.
We're back. We put a Tata starter in, and we're thinking about putting the T300 in it. Got it laying around.
I can't remember what cam was in this motor.
The run out on these are really good on top end. It's what I run in my 232. I've got a 205 that we run it into. And if you have questions about a 205, we can let you guys know, because you don't find a whole lot on 205s until you mistakenly build one. Because a 205 is a 180 bore with a 8.2 stroke crank.
My oil's quite dark.
I've got a new rubber if you need it. Over there in the box.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that right now.
Should all be 12.0 inside.
Yeah, this is fine. So. See if you can tell anything about it.
No. No riding on it. And yours has got that slack adjuster in it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
Yeah, I don't have any riding. Let me put it in top dead first. There's TDC right there. Let me turn it around again.
Yep.
We're hitting the starter clutch. At TDC or no?
Nope.
So I need to go one more revolution.
Yep. This head says GT.
So it could be a big valve already.
This head I got from somebody else. It didn't come from
No.
Get,
Yeah.
because the original kit was supposed to come with the head, and it showed up without it.
Right.
Then when I replaced it, I don't remember.
I have to get a 15/16 socket.
I thought they were 8s.
They are. Same thing. 15/16.
Like I say, this motor's been built for several years.
And they
The original lower end had like 3,000 miles on it when it ate a valve. And I rebuilt it, and it broke another valve and destroyed that overhaul. Then it ended up rebuilt into the 180.
Now what are you looking for?
Well,
We had it in here.
yeah, I'm looking.
It's a guy left over there on the floor.
I have the cam filter out.
This will be handy.
But I built this engine right after I had built a 50cc 100.
Lifter's okay, or rocker's okay?
Yep.
I've got to rebuild if they need them.
They look fine. Just looking them over.
You're good.
See how my antique cam is. Looks as good as the day I put it in.
Well, we always kept the oil up too, which makes a big difference on them. And a lot of people don't know this, but this is a flywheel press to get this flywheel off. I don't know how many people, I follow a group on there, and they asked how to get the flywheel off. The way you get the flywheel off is this little press. You get that nut off, and this screws in there, and then you tighten this. And this is another wrench that a lot of people don't know exists, and it's designed to allow you to take these out and flip them the other way around. It's to take this side, these bigger side, or for the clutch. This is to hold the variator so you can get the clutch, the flywheel fan off. So that's, it don't look the prettiest, but it's kind of a really expensive little tool that we have. And that center nut will be 17 millimeter. That ain't bad. I've seen worse.
No, this is what I was trying to pull up.
Okay.
That's who made it.
Same head that I've got over there then.
Mm.
Another thing about this little tool, if you get it set just right, you can take your flywheel off because there's holes in it to do that.
It's definitely a more radical cam.
GY6. He told me that that was the best of the best when I was talking to him.
Definitely more radical than what was in it.
I was looking, because I know we have assembly. exactly where it's at. And that's the T300 is what that cam is. It's all T300s made by Tata. Tata is a racing company for GOI 6s. And with this being a 180, we could make a 205 out of it pretty easy. There'll be 3 dots on that one to set it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
Line. You want something to drink out of the house?
I guess.
I'm gonna run in there and get soda, the wiring harness.
Okay.
Figure that out. Run all the way in there and then you want to not do.
Yeah, you can grab me one. Now to replace my cam rack. Make sure that I got my cam locked in. And of course, I'll have to readjust the valves. This motor wasn't a real slouch before the cam. Ought to feel a little more of it. Plus, with me putting it in a stripped down Honda ruckus, my scooter's going to lose probably 100 pounds.
That we change our gearing
Yeah.
because we know it's got 1348s in it. Probably
Yeah.
tight.
I'll definitely have to reset the valves.
They should.
I ain't got the tensioner in. Did you have it on top dead center when I set the cam?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've left it at top dead center. I'm gonna hold the flywheel.
Let me put the tensioner back in. I haven't done anything.
I still have to hold the flywheel.
Well, yeah.
Gotta have a small flat tip.
Remove this little bolt from your tensioner.
May go dig in my specialty box. I might already have it in my tensioner. No, I don't.
Normally you just can't slide that in there like that.
Normally I have a tool.
That keeps tension on your timing chain to keep it from skipping time.
Don't have it.
I've got it back in.
Right. What'd you reach in there with?
Nothing.
Oh. Is yours worn out that bad?
My tensioner?
Yeah.
No, it won't go back up. Chain's tight as it can be. It probably needs released.
And everyone tells you to put blue Loctite on that. Do not put blue Loctite on it. You cannot get it out after that. I don't know how many of these me and my dad's worked on, and that's all gone because they blue Loctited it. Because it's what everyone says on the forums. Make sure you blue Loctite everything. Don't. I've never blue Loctited any of my motors. Come on, break free.
Table.
That's what I've been dealing with. You had it on tight.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah,
tightening up cam bolts.
I didn't think about it.
My motor is filthy.
I don't disagree. And everyone says that there's supposed to be a washer back there. 99% of the time there is not. And don't worry about it because they're a lock nut. We've pulled so many of these things apart that don't have it and everyone freaks out. And they don't have to have it backwards threads.
I know. I was trying to get it started. You want to make sure that you screw your puller as
All the
far
way down.
in as you can get it.
There it went.
And it's exactly that simple to get it off.
As long as you had the puller. It's just tapered.
Now we can actually see what I put in it.
Yeah. 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pole.
Yep.
We got to change to 11 pole for the Honda.
Yep.
11 pole in personally is the best way to go anyways.
This thing originally had a 6 in it, if I remember correctly.
And see, if I'm
When I built the engine,
rebuilt.
the 8 was the biggest one you could put in or get at the time. And I kept having problems with my charging system, so I put the largest one I could get in it. And of course now,
It's not big enough for what we're trying to do now. But back when we built this motor, you couldn't get Hondas. Because everyone was buying them up and they wanted ridiculous money for them.
the Honda Ruckus was a new deal. Because if I remember right, I think that scooter is a 2000.
Would have been about 2016 that we bought that one.
Mhm.
Because I had that 2014 50 that we
Yeah, yours was a lot newer than mine.
turned it all the way up as far as it would go without putting the strip crank in. And everyone talks about boring their block.
But when we go to build another scooter, we always have spare parts. There's a retainer in here for the wiring that you want to make sure you put back.
And to put your 180 bore in, you've got to bore your block with a tool. Unless it's a MJ block, and you can do a little bit of file work to it, and you get them usually to go in. See, the Honda's never had that little spacer there. You want me to put that in the...
Having some issues.
So. We swapped. Now we're to 11 pole. We had an 8 pole in.
Yeah, it's not swapped yet. Cannot get my lower bolt to go. Can't tell why.
I know that everyone crages about the KOK carburetors, and they are a decent carburetor, but I found that it's easier to use a Nebby. And if you want that quick, snappy throttle, you can get a flat. I just run the regular old dirt bike style carburetor on it, and it's responsive. We've never had an issue out of them being responsive.
Can't see. You'll have to look in there and see if I have that loom in the right spot to go in there so it doesn't cut it. See the slot?
Yeah, I know exactly where it goes. I'm trying to get it in there.
Finally found it. Put it in my pocket so I wouldn't lose it.
There, I think. Nope. See on 205 I had that problem.
Getting it in there or cutting the wires?
Getting it in there. The first one, I got it all in there, and it still cut the dang wires. Got it all in its groove, all of it. Here's the ratchet.
You said it before.
See, on my 232, I don't have this.
Doesn't have a wire tie.
Nope. You can't get one.
It's one of those things that you have to rob from something else.
Yeah. Rob Peter to pay Paul. And I didn't rob any one of mine.
Now all we gotta do is get the pickup back in.
Put it in there upside down for you.
That wouldn't be a large help, but if you really want to. You're just afraid mine's faster than yours.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay.
If it isn't, I'll let air out of your tires.
Bet you would.
Put some bricks in your gas tank.
Yeah, yeah.
Reset your brakes.
Yeah. Reset some brakes, huh?
Yeah.
Or retune the carburetor then.
I got my own screwdriver, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Lily's gonna ride a scooter.
Yeah, I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
All she wants to ride on.
Is that seat?
Yeah.
She said, if I can figure out how to get up there, I'm laying down.
That bolt's iffy.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Something to
There you go.
keep in mind, guys. There's a keyway in your flywheel, and
You gotta make sure the key's in
some of your flywheels cranks will come with that keyway, and some of them won't. So you gotta make sure that that keyway is actually still in there, and this one's still in there, but they fall out on some of your cranks. I don't want you.
there. I like to turn the keyway to the top so I can see it while I'm putting my flywheel on. Might get the mud, dirt. That might help. Dirt dauber's nest. Because you could use my scooter.
Yep.
Put it over in the corner and used it for parts.
Yep. I used it as parts. The only bad part is you made out better than I did.
Not yet, it's not running.
You still made out
I'll let you know when I patch you.
because you got more expensive stuff than I got from yours.
Well, yeah, you kept wanting to borrow my junk, so that's fine.
But what we put it in, it didn't matter.
That flywheel's been replaced.
Yeah, I know.
It's not the original.
It's on there.
Because supposedly that one's lighter than their original.
Same flywheel that I'm running on the scooter motor and on that. And you don't have to get real crazy with tightening these things down.
No, because you want to be able to get it loose later. And they're self-locking. That's good.
That's good. Yeah, you don't get crazy with it or you're going to have an impact the next time you go to get it off. And it really sucks when you have to use an impact on it. Because we've watched a ton of people strip this clean out. The flywheel, not the flywheel, the crank bolt, the shaft on the crank. Rip all the threads clean off of it. This is the only downfall about this intake right here.
You can't use a wrench to get that bolt tight.
After you get it past the little groove,
Then you can.
yeah.
I just wanted to,
I got a balancer coming. I ordered through.
wanted to see how it was going to look.
Because we're going to have to clock it about that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you look, come on.
Only bad part is they come in anodized red.
There ain't no bad part about that. Only those weirdos that like blue.
Now, if it come like the bolts, I wouldn't complain. They look good. I'll have to spray paint that part.
I know. And you know, the sad part is, I changed the oil before it set.
No gas in it.
No. It had an oil change done to it.
Well, lower end's got like 3,000 miles on it.
And we don't
Which
really
is
know
a-
how it was
which is-
blown up
Which is a lot of miles
on a little
on a little Chinese scooter.
motor.
Now then, if I can get 3,000 more out of it before I gotta put a crank in it. That's what I'm shooting for. When I destroy my crank, then
Time to turn it up.
it's time for a new crankshaft.
Time to turn it up.
I didn't say anything about turning it up. I just said it's time for a bigger or a new crankshaft.
Okay, so time to turn it up.
We've still got to mock up getting this into
The frame.
the frame because I'm cheap and I have made the decision that we're going to build my kit.
We have one to mock off of too.
Lily's complaining about your seat not being comfortable.
She would complain about it, I know.
She's a low rider, her belly's wet.
Mm-hmm.
She said, and it's cold out here and nobody's built me a fire.
Alright. Now put the valve cover back on it.
I wouldn't get carried away tightening it down because we'll have it back off to set the valves.
Right.
Turn it the right way.
That is the right way.
Okay. And I may even paint my valve cover after I get all the goo off of it.
Yeah, I think it needs to meet a car wash.
Ain't gotta be pretty to be fast. You only gotta outrun the guy that's behind you.
Yeah, yeah.
This the nitrous port.
You call it that.
I can then bolt the belt drive right here
Yeah.
and put the supercharger here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And say goodbye to your crankshaft.
Well, it's one way to upgrade.
And something else that a lot of people don't tell you, and we've seen this quite a bit, if you over tighten these, it'll crack all the way around these bolts.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of these I've seen that way. I bought a goat cart that was done to, and I had to buy a new valve cover. That and a case back here for your gear sets. I don't know how many of those I've seen broke too, because people get crazy tightening them and over tighten them.
Which we probably want to check the
Well, we got
oil in the rear end of this thing because I never remember changing it.
right.
Never.
I know I've checked it, and I had it in there. It's 10 mil. Here.
I was just checking to see if we had any slack or any of that because this thing's been a bunch of miles. And I know I've never rode it easy. Yeah, still in there. Looks like it's automatic transmission fluid.
Well, it's not technically automatic transmission fluid, but
Yeah. But that's what it looks like. I want something your scooter doesn't have.
mine has them.
I want rear brakes.
Mine has them. They're
That
brand
works. That works.
new. Oh,
That work. That I can actually push the stop button. And guess what? It stops.
mine does. As long as I put the new, if I would put the new brake cable, figure out what size of brake cable to put on it, the length.
Yeah. If I've got to super glue something together and put a pedal on the floorboard, I'm having rear brakes.
Sad part is the rear brakes in mine are brand new and never been used.
These are new. I changed these. And I changed the front disc brake pads on that bike. And I think I got these from GoFit. Because I think I had to change this cam.
I know,
Because the cam was bad, I do believe.
I can tell you mine are NYCs.
Because this scooter didn't have anything but front brakes when I got it.
Right. I remember that.
When I purchased the scooter that this motor come from, I purchased it from a college student, which had driven it
All that's left.
since it was brand new, had it serviced at a local dealer, and on his way to school one morning, it just died. Then it sat in his garage for another 3 months.
And he had to
Then
leave.
he decided, or he was
Leaving the country.
leaving the college to go to England, I do believe,
Yeah, something like that.
as a student exchange. And he decided to
Sell.
sell the scooter. I called him and went and checked it out. It was in very nice shape then, but
Really?
it's not in very good shape now because I rebuilt the engine and I rode it a lot when I first rebuilt it.
Of course, at that time we had 2 or 3 of them running.
It made a 18 mile trek
Every day.
every day for months, almost a year.
So,
And in that time, I blew it up once.
and then put a new head and jug in it.
The reason that I stopped riding the scooter is the front forks bearings are, the bearing holder
Or
is
gone.
worn totally out, and it actually starts shaking on you after you get over 45 mile an hour. And anytime that you go to stop, it goes nuts. Want to turn the motor around?
We can. Alright. We'll have to get us a slide for yours, but
I forgot you took my kickstart out.
sorry, I already bought a slide and don't remember it.
Yeah, I knew that we'd replace the slide.
All right, this is NYC
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
full roller. It's got that poly coating in it, and it's got a larger clutch bell is what they call it. And I'll tell you from rebuilding, and we've rebuilt quite a few of these things, that it's, I would say, one of the best ones that we've ever bought, because we've had a ton of different brands that everyone swears by.
That eventually just fall apart.
They just fly apart. And
They chatter, they make noise, they groove real bad.
this taper right here isn't as aggressive on your belt. So when you're actually sitting there idling, your belt's riding about right in here. And a lot of the times the taper's so aggressive that it just eats the inside of these out. So of course we don't have a belt right now. We're just sliding all this together. And when you buy this kit, you have to make sure you get this, because this is matching taper as this, or it eats these out too. And this is one, you have to make sure this washer goes back. You can go down to anywhere and get one, and just make sure you put it back, because if you don't, it's bad. It'll break the center out of it.
Guess I shouldn't tighten that because we'll have to have it back off. Here comes my really dirty clutch. Do we have to change the spring in that?
Yes. We got the 25 in it, and you had me swap it back out.
Yeah, because we're going down.
Because on my 232, it wouldn't allow it to do everything right. NYC, this is their clutch bell. Their aftermarket clutch with stage 3 springs in it, with a spring and new slider. The slider goes out a little farther to the clutch, and usually you have a $2,500 spring in here. No, $1,500, and we got a $2,500 in here right now.
Yeah.
So,
But we are changing it to the 15.
right there, it'll say NYC, and it's not 15, it's 1,000. Sorry. And then this is the springs that come in the kit, and these are $2,500 springs for your clutch release. Of course, we can slide it all on, and then when we get the belt and stuff, we can take. I'm just figuring we dress it. You're full of it.
It's all right, cold.
Clutch is brand new.
I know it's dirty, but
It is brand spanking new. Literally everything inside of it's new.
It's been put on his scooter, taken back off, and put my clutch on because we realized that 2,500 was too much for his.
Which everyone on the internet kept telling us that we needed it, so we put it on there. It didn't need it.
It could be his weight. There's a lot of factors that. But we both have the same clutch setup.
And we have slide weights, fully adjustable all the way through. I can't tell you exactly what grams we're running. I know that these in here are like 10s. You're full of it. Lay down.
Now then,
There's another can over there. MJ Block.
I knew it was.
I knew it was too. I'm just MJ will be your last two numbers on here. And the MJ blocks are either a 125 and they can be turned up to a 150. And with the MJ block, you can just lightly sand inside of it, and a 180 kit will go right in them.
And that's what's been done to this one, is it's been slightly modified
To fit that,
to fit the 180.
we can actually take this MJ block and they make a 205 jug, and it'll bolt. You just hone it out a little bit and you can bolt them straight in. You can use that can pretty clean.
It's hard to tell that this thing used to look nice
It actually was in really decent shape
before it's just set around.
we moved out here, and when we moved out here,
It's just set.
we haven't really rode it. We quit riding because we lived in town. Now we don't, so we quit riding them. And then I sold mine, and I bought the Honda, and I built the Honda, and that one's just been sitting there. So we went and found another frame, and we went together and bought it, and now trying to turn it up. And
I think most of it'll just wash off.
yeah, with the garden hose probably.
Yeah, because most of it's just crap from its setting. Get it cleaned off pretty good. Power wash it.
But
Of course, the block down here has always been filthy because I didn't clean it when I originally rebuilt it.
no,
It was pretty dirty.
it was dirty at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, there's quite a few new parts on this thing now. It upgraded because it used to not have this. It used to not have a nice variator and clutch setup.
It was weighted.
We did have it weighted, yes, and we'll have to do some re-weighting because we're thinking about opening this and changing our gearing.
Just depends on how well it runs out.
Uh,
There's probably a little fuller number two. I may have to get an addition module and all that stuff,
Oh yeah?
and a coil.
Why?
It's all gone off my scooter.
There's a brand new one in the house. All of it's there.
Trying to pull down to the stator.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many poles that is, but that's a huge stator.
Mm-hmm. Kind of curious if it actually fit July 6.
3 bolts.
Yeah, that don't scare me.
If I didn't save anything off my scooter, I saved the horn. Very important.
Made in Japan.
What?
I don't like their oil pump design.
Honda's had a lot of success with their designs, so
I'm not complaining, I'm just saying.
probably better built than most.
They've had some really good designs. Then they got some redonkulous ones. It's got a plastic gear running the oil pump. Redonkulous.
Got my wrench back.
Guys, don't worry, he's just trashing what's left.
Just trying to get my wrench back.
Can't be as bad as when you're driving down the road and it's falling apart. Be alright.
One nice new GY6 ignition switch with key. You're looking at me like that doesn't really matter to you. I thought it was important. And a bolt.
Yeah.
I got me a bolt to put my steering column back together. See?
Here.
Okay, what do you want me to do with it?
You can stand there and get under it. See, this one's only got 3 wires on it.
That's all this has got, 3 wires. Yep. What yours got? On your scooter,
4 wires.
let me guess. The one that we just took out plugs in.
No,
No?
it's off of a 50.
No. Where's the one that we just took out?
It's the wrong one.
It has the wrong plug too.
Yeah. So I wonder.
Those fellers fibbed to us.
Yeah. I wonder if we get a 50 11 pole.
The one that I've got ordered for 50, 150, and 200. But I think it's got the square plug on it.
The plug that the one in here has. This one.
Yep. How many wires is coming out of that one?
2,
No, out of that one.
4.
4.
This one's only got 3.
Interesting. And that plug-in's only got 2. Interesting. Alright, that's how I'm feeling.
Not with you working on it.
What are you trying to say?
You've been a little destructive to that poor little scooter over there.
I'm just giving it fine tuning.
Yeah. Yeah, fine tuning. I'll show you. Fine tuning. You can take a look at his fine tuning. Yeah. The poor scooter.
It ain't supposed to look like this?
Yeah, it's fine tuned
Mm-hmm.
into pieces.
Trying to gather up enough pieces here. I think I can do it. It had a little play. Just a little bit. It looks worse than it drove.
In turns why I got parked.
It's okay. It was only a problem if you wanted to steer.
Hey,
Or
it's
stop.
just fine. It just kind of roadwalked a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, not bad.
Nothing minor. You can't steer the other way.
Yeah.
It fixes it.
And the speedometer was always amazing.
Yeah, it's easy to read.
Yeah.
It's an easy read speedometer.
It was always, I don't know how fast I'm going.
It's no big deal.
And the mirrors, I don't know how long ago after you got that thing, they quit blinking and you unplugged them.
Yeah. It's okay. It's just broke in.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
You just didn't break my gauges, did you?
Yeah.
What if I wanted to use them? There's what I was looking. Because all you had to do is take these two screws out.
That's the mileage. It's easy to read. Speedometer. Only had to take those two screws out.
Yeah, I got it. Got the first one out.